Okay, I'm going to go over how you're going to use Sketchup for schools to create the 150 square box. It's a nice little task, and if you look at it stage by stage, it shouldn't be too difficult, right? So get your Drive account and go to the More in New and find Sketchup for Schools. Click on Sketchup for Schools and let it load. Now, once it loads, you just click to log in with Google, and your first task is going to be to change the default units. So the units always default back to 2 inches because it's an imperial program, not a metric one. So the first thing you're going to click on is the I, and then where you're looking here, look at 0.0 mm's, and then your precision. Well, in woodwork, we may work to half a millimeter. That'd be pretty high tolerance. So I'll leave it to 0.0, so you could work to tenths of millimeters if you wanted to. Click the little arrow to the top, and you should be okay. Right, now, here's your 3 axes that you've got. In your CAD program, you've got blue axis that goes straight up in the air, green away from you, red towards you. Just get used to now moving the page around. If you're lucky enough to have a mouse, you can do it all with the mouse just by rolling the wheel to where you want to zoom in, pressing the shift button down and pressing the scroll wheel down to move. It'll all make sense once you get started. Right, next job, click on the rectangle button and then drag a rectangle. Now you see the dimension bar at the bottom down here. Just drag and let go. I'll just do that again so you can see. As you drag, the dimensions get bigger and bigger. What you're going to do is you're going to drag out and just let go. Don't click, okay? Just let go. If you type in 150, comma, 150, that sets your size for the box. Right, they are. That's now 150 square, that box. Okay, so there's my shape I'm drawing with. Next thing, right, I'm going to start by creating the side walls of the box. So I'm going to grab a tape measure and I'm going to click on one of the sides. I'm going to pull away. I'm going to type in 20, enter. I'm going to do the same on that side, pull away, type in 20, enter. Same on this one, pull away, type in 20, enter. Click on this one, pull away, 20, enter. Okay, next job, click on the rectangle button again. You'll now have an attractor point. So if you see the little cross that says intersection, click on it and go again and click on it. And what you got now is a box with side walls. Okay, let's just select the middle bit of the box there with the arrow. So pick the select arrow, pick arrow there, like click on the middle box there and press delete and you'll have a hollow box. Now, this box measures 68 millimeters high. So click on the push pull button by here, this push pull button, and pull up 68 millimeters. That gives us a box. Okay, so the box that we're making has got different joints on each corner, and we're going to try and replicate that as faithfully as we can. You'll find the box, by the way, on page 73 in your folder. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to draw these joints in. I'm going to start off with the finger joint. So to draw the finger joint in on this corner here, click from the end point. Make sure you're drawing on an arrow that goes in this direction. Look on the red axis, but only go up to that corner. Now come down from this one on the blue axis, and then close that joint off by doing the bottom piece by there. So I've just drawn a section like that. Now, next thing, you have got to get your tape measure. Click on the bottom edge and hover up here until you see this little green dot. Okay, the green dot is what's called an attractor point, and it tells you you're in the middle of the material. So click there. I've just drawn a line that goes halfway up the length of the wood. Okay, so the middle of the finger joint is 28 millimeters wide. So half of that will be above and half will be below. So 28 divided by 2 is 14. So I'm going to drag up there, type in 14. I'm going to drag down there, I'm going to type 14. I've got two 14 millimeter pieces. And now what I'm going to do, look, is I'm going to draw a line that goes from here to here, from here to here. Now I'm going to close this shape off. It might get a little bit confusing at this stage, right? I'm going to join that one up, and then where I go in here, I'm going to go cross and across like that, and just make sure your lines are going in the right directions. Right, I've got a few too many lines here, the lines I don't need, so I'm going to get the rubber tool from the top there, and I'm going to delete some of them. So I'm taking that one away, taking that one away, and that one away. Oops, daisy, and I'm taking that one away as well. Come back here, Control Z. If I take too much that way. Okay, so all we need to do with that is we need to just heal the shape. So we just need to draw a line back in like this, and it should create, there are, a solid shape for us again. right? And that's fine. So there is my finger joint drawn in correctly, right? Next one I've got is the half lap joint. Well, the half lap joint, you're going to be using a tape measure again. This time I'm going to go around. I click when I see that little dot. Look over there, the green dot. That's my halfway line. And this is my half lap joint. It goes from there and then it goes down like that. And then it comes across to here and up to there. And there's my half lap joint. Well, not quite. I just need to take this bit of line away by here. Like that. So there's my finger joint and my half lap joint. I've got a dowel joint that we put in by here. Now, those of you who are flying with a CAD, I'm sure will probably be looking at taking this drawing apart and actually drawing the dowel joint in with the dowels in place. They are 8mm dowels that we're using, and you put 2 on there. So if you can separate this shape out, that'd be a good thing to be able to do. And the last joint that we've got here is the joint which is the routed joint. Okay, so for the routed joint, we're going to go like this. And we're going to take away this bit, and this bit, and this bit. And you can see the shape that I've been left with is the routed joint. So again, I'll do that right quite quickly. 1, 2, 1, and 2, like that. Oh, I come back to that one as well. And then if I take away that bit, and that bit, and that bit, and that leaves me with my routed joint in place. Okay, so that is the 150 square box. Now, if you don't want your construction lines, your guidelines in there still that you've got, you can delete those. Just take the rubber and just take them away. You can leave them in. There are other ways to do that. You can go to the view if you want to. The display one, you can just turn your guides off in here so you lose them altogether. Or you can delete them like I just did. Now, let's now see what we can do if we take this part and we pull it into separate pieces. Right. Lasso one of the side pieces. Click on the move button. Press the control key once. Click on a side and drag across. What that's done, look, is that's copied one of the side pieces of my design. Now all I need to do is I need to heal this shape. So to heal the shape, you've got to join parts together. Just look for those attractor points and draw them back in. And what you should end up with is a shape that looks like the pieces of wood that you actually cut in real life. Just take your time, figure out the ones that are missing, and by the time you join them all back in, you should have an accurate representation, like I say, of real life. There's your finger joint, the one side of it, and your routed joint. Next one you got is your other joint, which makes sure you lasso everything. Go to your move button, hit the control button once, and pull over. And what that does, it makes a copy of the object. And again, now what we've got to do, we've got to go in and we've got to do some healing and some removing. There's a remove there, look. And there's a drawer that goes here, and one here, and one here, and one here. And then on this side, you've got to draw in, let me think now, that section. Let's just check which bit's got to go in. Okay, so for that one, we're just looking at that piece and taking away that line. And that one, and that one, and that one. These two can go as well. So I've got that. And then what I've got to do the section by here. So just keep going around. Look, lasso more than you need. So you've got all that part there. Go to the move button again. Press the control once. And pull that one over here. That one's come out quite nicely. So what I need to do with this is take away that part, and that part. And then my last one I've got to do is the routed joint on this side. So I've got to grab that bit of it. Go to the move button again. Press the control button once. Click on the corner. Pull away. I just got a bit more healing to do on this one now. take away that, take away that, and then draw in these sections by here, and then just take away those little bits of line that have been left from the geometry in your other sketch. There you are. Oops, daisy, I got one little bit missing there. Like, go back to my line button and draw in this one. And we're left with all parts of our 150 square box. Now, last thing I would do probably is I would select the individual pieces, right click on them and make them into a group. What that means is they're actually joined together, and it makes them a little bit easier to move around without deleting parts of them, and it makes it harder for you to accidentally delete them, right? Or delete parts of them. You can still edit them by double clicking on them, but they're now grouped. So I'm going to group this one as well, and get into a position where you can group it easily. Right click, make into a group. There you are. Now, don't forget, right, this is a non-auto saving program, so you do need to save it. I'm going to put it into my drive, and I'm going to put it into, let me think, my Skillstart folder if it comes up in a second. Skillstart. Sorry, it's non-alphabetical for some reason. Skillstart. There it is. Okay, and I'm going to call it 150 box. 150x 150 box. I'm going to spell box the Welsh way then, and save here. Oh, it's called 150 by 150 boix. And if it says save, that's fine, right? So there is my 150 square box. Have a go, see how you get on. If you can manage that in the course of one lesson, I think you've done pretty well. If you finish it before one lesson, well, let's think now. I want you moving in and doing the dowels in this section, all right? So half the distance, 2 holes going in, half the depth of the wood, so going in 10 millimeters blind holes, and then 2 holes that go in the same dimensions that go in 20 millimeters into the end grain of that piece. So that'll definitely take you a lesson to do, okay? So do it nice and accurately. And if you want to then, I guess you could render it. That'd be a nice thing to do as well. So if you click on the bucket and you pick up in the bucket, go to search, and you can find wood down here. Choose a kind of timber that you like the look of, and you can start thinking about making it out of timber. What else can you do? Let's think. If you go to display, you could turn shadows on, and then you can change the time and the date of the shadows to end up with a nice presentation style drawing of the box that you've created, which should all be good. There, I'll save that as that. So have a go, see how you get on. All right, good luck.